Hello and welcome to our third lecture. We shall be looking at factorization. So, factorization simply is solving algebraic expressions by introducing brackets. So, anyways, I'm going to demonstrate that definition by solving this simple example here. All right. So, the instruction of the problem is that we should factorize 3m plus 3n. I want you to notice how we use common factors to introduce brackets or to factorize this particular expression. So I want you to look at this expression and notice that 3m and 3n has a common factor, and that is 3. 3 can divide 3m and can also divide 3n. And so 3 is going to be our common divisor there. Having identified, that common divisor, we'll pull it out, then introduce brackets, and within the brackets, we will write what remains after dividing the terms by the common divisor. So that's going to be 3m divided by 3. 3m divided by 3 will give us m, plus 3n divided by 3 will give us n. And so that there is a proper demonstration of what factorization really is, and a simple example that solves factorization of an algebraic expression. Let us look at another example and see how we can use this to simplify equations. Awesome. On to our second example. So we are having an expression 2a plus 4b plus 3a plus 6b. And the instruction is that we are supposed to factorize this particular expression. Now, for us to factorize this expression, we will first start by collecting like terms and simplifying it, and then seeing what common factors the expression will have afterwards. So 2a is of the same like term as 3a, and 4b is of the same like term as 6b. Okay, so we're going to add the like terms together. So 2a plus 3a will give us 5a, plus 4b plus 6b will give us 10b. Now we have the expression at its most simplified version. And so we look at it and see if we have any common factor. So 5a and 10b. When you look at both of these terms, you will note that 5 can divide 5a, and 10 can also divide 10b. Usually what we go for is the GCD, all right? The GCD will always give you the greatest common divisor, and that is what we always want to use. Okay, so taking the GCD of these factors out, that is 5. We are then going to introduce the bracket, and whatever is in the bracket will be the term divided by the common divisor, or the GCD. So that's going to be 5a divided by 5. And so that will give us a. 10b divided by 5. So that will give us 2b. And that will be the answer to that particular expression. Let us handle another complicated example then, just to get you familiar with this concept of factorization of algebraic expressions. Yes, example 3. So in example 3, we are having ar cubed plus ar raised to 4 plus ar raised to 5. And the instruction is that we should factorize. Okay, so we are going to first note and check if the expression is in its most simplified version. And we can see clearly that it is in its most simplified version, and that there are no like terms that are actually apart. So the second thing we're going to do is find if the terms that we have here share a common divisor or common factor. And so I want you to note that A is in the first term, A is in the second term, and A is in the third term. That means that A there already is a common divisor. Also want you to note that R is in the first term, R is in the second term, and R is in the third term. Therefore, we have two common divisors, AR. A are our two common divisor. However, this is not enough. When taking our common divisors, we're going to take, if we're talking of A, we're going to take A with the lowest power. I want you to note that A here has the power of 1, A here has the power of 1, A here also has the power of 1. That therefore means that A in its simplest version is basically A raised to 1, if we are looking at A in the common divisor. The same will also apply for R. We are going to take R with the lowest power in our GCD, or our common divisor. So note that R here has the power of 3, R here has the power of 4, and R here has the power of 5. So in our common divisor here, we're going to have our R raised to the power of 3, which is the lowest power. So that there is going to be our common divisor, AR cubed. Then we shall introduce our bracket. Now, the next step is then to divide whatever terms we have in the expression by our common divisor. So that's going to be AR cubed divided by AR cubed. So usually what that just means, what you need to do there is basically take the powers of each of these variables minus one another. Okay, so in this particular case, we're going to have A, which is raised to power 1, and A raised to power 1 dividing each other. So that will be 1 minus 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0, and any number raised to 0 is usually equal to 1. Then we're also going to look at R cubed here. To divide AR cubed and AR cubed, our common divisor, we're also going to take 3 minus 3. We're going to take this difference of what? Of the powers. Okay? So 3 minus 3 is going to give us 0. And any number raised to 0 is equal to 1. So therefore, AR cubed divided by AR cubed basically is going to be equal to 1. Let us look at the second term. Now, we're going to take AR raised to 4 divided by AR cubed. So A is already raised to 1. And A is already raised to 1. So that's going to be 1 minus 1, giving us 0. Any number raised to 0 equals to 1. We've done away with A. Now, let us come to R. So on the side of R, we're going to have 4 minus 3. All right, so that's going to be what? R. Hope you're able to follow that. A raised to 5. For us to find the dividend of AR raised to 5 divided by AR cubed, we're going to subtract the powers again. So basically that's going to be 1 minus 1, giving us what? A raised to 0. A raised to 0 is equivalent to 1. Any number raised to 0 usually equals to 1. Now we're going to then take R raised to 5 minus R raised to 3. So that's going to be 5 minus 3. That's going to be 2. So in there, we're going to have R raised to what? 2. And looking at what we have here, this is going to be our factorized version of this algebraic expression, given the fact that we do not have any common factor in the bracket that we can then go ahead and add and subtract. Thank you.